What's up, everybody? Your friendly neighborhood Damon Hatfield here, chatting with my good friend Eric Goldman down in our LA office about last night's Emmy Awards. Eric, how are we feeling today?
I'm feeling good. The Emmys at least were relatively short. We don't feel like they're going on and on this year.
Breaking Bad, big winner, deservedly so, I think. But were there any big surprises at the show last night?
I mean, to me, the big surprise was McConaughey not winning. And I know that's crazy to feel like Cranston wasn't a lock, but this had been McConaughey's year. He'd won everything because he'd had both a movie and a TV series that had gotten such acclaim, and so he kept just cleaning up at every award show. And I really thought it would just power through the Emmys too, and that would almost be capping off 9 or 10 months of him winning awards. So that was a big surprise to me, him not getting the Best Actor.
You were telling me you thought it was a mistake that HBO submitted True Detective as a drama and not a miniseries because that put it up against everything Breaking Bad, which is almost unbeatable.
Right, they were rolling the dice in a big way here, HBO, right? They knew they had a very, a critically acclaimed, really adored show with True Detective, and they decided we're going to submit it in the drama series category, not the miniseries category. I really, really think that McConaughey would have definitely won if it had been a miniseries, and I think the show would have won. I personally actually liked Fargo a little more, but I still think if it had been up against Fargo, it would have beaten it. So I think there probably is at HBO today a bit of some regret about that decision, given how things ended up.
Seems like there are a lot of repeat winners from last night. Is that true? And if so, why do you think that was?
Yeah, not just from last year, but several years. I mean, this is something that the Emmys get criticized for. They have been getting this criticism forever, for 20-something years. It's very true. The Emmys get stuck. It seems like the Emmy voters get really stuck in voting for things that are sort of safe bets. And I mean, I remember, 25 years ago when John Larroquette kept winning for Night Court and Frasier kept winning. So yeah, that happens here. And to me, it is something that I really hope can change at some point, because it does seem, and I know I'm kind of hypocritical here because I'm very happy Breaking Bad won, but that was a repeat winner too, right? It's like Cranston got, I think, his 4th Emmy for that role. He deserved it. But at the same time, it does seem like the Emmys, they do tend to just sort of check a box they've already checked before. And there's some cases where it seemed like they really should have looked at the rest of what was nominated for something new and fresher.
Well, not only is Breaking Bad excellent and beloved, but this is also the last time it'll ever be at the Emmys, right? So surely there's some sort of desire to give it that last final award now that it's all done. Right.
I think definitely, yeah, because we did see. I mean, for instance, Cranston won, I think, 3 years in a row, and then he didn't win. I believe it was last year.
Might be right.
So it was, there was a year he didn't win, but there was this feeling like this is the end, right? And it went out. It went out so strong. I mean, there are shows that we all feel are not operating at their best anymore. This is not one of them, So I think there was the feeling of this is their victory lap. Everyone here agrees this is one of the best shows of all time. Let's give it its, final praise here.
Yeah. True Blood did not end as strongly as Breaking Bad.
No, it did not.
What were you happiest to see win last night?
I would have to say the specific thing I was happiest about was Best Writing for a Drama, and Maura Wally Beckett winning for, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this episode title right, but Breaking Bad, Ozymandias.
Right.
Probably saying that wrong.
Sure.
But, we did the top 10 Breaking Bad episodes here at IGN after it ended, and we listed that as the best episode of Breaking Bad. I think it's one of the best episodes of TV I've ever seen, period.
Sure.
And don't forget, she was up in that category. She was up against Vince Gilligan, the creator of Breaking Bad, for the final episode of that show. And that's a case where I think it would have been easy for the Emmy voters to go for Gilligan on the final episode. As great as the final episode of Breaking Bad is, I don't think it's one of their very best. So I just was so happy to see the specific episode they honored get that very, very well-deserved award there, because that is just, I think that's an episode of TV people will be talking about forever.
Were there any big disappointments last night?
I just think in general, I mean, to me, the biggest disappointment was Modern Family winning Best Comedy again. Modern Family is a show I thought was great when it began, but there is a show that I don't think it's bad now, but it's pretty repetitive, right? It's not really offering anything new, and we've kind of seen all the tricks of Modern Family at this point. And so I do feel like, come on, give it to Veep or Louis.
Sure.
Or I did think Orange is the New Black had a very good chance, as much as people were kind of saying that's a weird show because it's a dramedy. the fact that it's in the comedy categories is a little strange because there's a lot of drama. I still thought it might win, but no, I think it was Modern Family's 5th win, which ties it with Frasier for the most wins of a best comedy ever in history. And it kind of speaks to the Emmys and how they can, like we were saying, get in this rut of voting for what they're familiar with, you know?
Yeah, you mentioned Orange is the New Black. How did Netflix do overall?
Not great, you know. It really, you know, they got a lot of nominations, but Orange is the New Black had won for Best Guest Actor the week before when they do some of the earlier awards, but it didn't win in any of the major categories, and the same for House of Cards. So certainly, look, no one is going to say anything bad about the couple of years Netflix has had as far as beginning so strong when it comes to here's all our new programming, getting a lot of attention, a lot of viewers, a lot of critical acclaim, and a lot of nominations. But they still have yet to really break through as far as actual awards are concerned.
Before we go real quick, I've noticed just a lot of coverage for the Emmys this year. It seems like more than normal. Do you think the Emmys are getting bigger? You said that you've been watching them for like 20 years now. Yeah,
I don't know if the Emmys, I don't know if it's the Emmys in general, but I do think this was certainly a big year as far as there was a lot of cool shows nominated, right? And, I mean, first of all, just even Breaking Bad, it was the last time for all of us as fans, too, even to kind of, you know, honor Breaking Bad one more time and see the cast together again.
Sure, yeah.
I think that True Detective, Fargo, Orange is the New Black, there were shows that were a lot of people excited about this year. So maybe it did help. And even just Twitter in general, I think, is a nice sort of weird unifying thing for people. We're all kind of watching as a community. Everyone's, you know, making fun of the same thing. We were joking right before we started filming about the horrible music they were playing. Every time Breaking Bad won, they had this horrible version of the Breaking Bad theme. So it's like you all felt bonded by saying, why are they ruining the theme of this show we love? So sure. I do think there is a lot of excitement about a lot of TV shows right now, and that did help the Emmys this year.
Well, thanks, Eric. Viewers, you can find the full list of winners and more of our thoughts about them at IGN.com. And for all of your TV news and info, stay tuned, IGN.